What's up, guys? Got a very cool knife review for you today. Medford 187F and S90V DLT exclusive. I ordered this the other day. I actually paid for the second day shipping, which was less than $10 more than priority, and it came the second day. A lot better than paying for priority and getting it 5 days later, which is what we've been getting here in Houston. Anyway, here she is. This is extremely cool to me. Okay, so you see the graphics. At first, I thought these were painted on, and I actually was going to get the knife and remove the graphics and make it Terminator style, plain tumbled titanium. But it's not that I disliked the graphics. I was worried if that was paint, it was just going to rub off. But these are all etched in here, machine etched or lasered etched, I'm not sure. But all of this is engraved. Each dot is engraved. Extremely cool. And this is anodized. Extremely cool knife. 187F. Of course, that means a 187,000 thick scales. 187,000 thick blade. That is a massive chunk of S90V. Has rapidly become my favorite blade steel. It's hair popping sharp. Of course, with all knives, it took a little breaking in. I broke it in, loosened up the pivot just a hair. It was a little snug. One thing I want to talk a little bit about is lock stick. You can buy the best knife in the world and get it home and have a lock stick, and that's what I had with this one. I want to talk a little bit about what I did to remedy it, and I want to say the disclaimer first that if you're not pretty well versed in frame locks and you get a sticky Medford, send it back to Medford. Let them fix it for you. They'll have it back to you within like 10 days. It's crazy fast. And of course they don't charge. They'll get it fixed. It'll be perfect. Every once in a while one slips through, or sometimes they'll get sticky even after they've checked it, and after you flipped it a little bit. This one actually wasn't sticky right when I first got it. It got sticky after a little bit, but I used the antioxidant compound Oxguard, and 99% of the time that will knock it out. Put it right there. See that little bit on there? This one, it was still sticking a little bit, so relieve the lock bar tension. Again, disclaimer, if you don't know what you're doing, don't touch the lock bar. Send it back to Medford. You can rapidly ruin a knife. The lock bar tension was a little stiff on this when I relieved it, and it's a gem now. I mean, this thing flips. It's unbelievable. It's drop shutty. Anyway, back to the knife. This is a crazy cool knife. So now I have the Slim Midi, the 187 drop point, and this one in S90V. I think the only one they offer is the Praetorian. Just not a huge fan of the Praetorian. I think it's cool, but I had one before, and I like the Marauders, and 187's better, and the Slim Midis. So, but if you're in the market for one of these, I can tell you that if you're like me and you like the satin blades, I don't think there's but a couple left. This one is the only model with this design left in the 187Fs that you can even get a satin blade, and I wouldn't imagine that DLT had a lot of these. So if you want one, I suggest you move fast, because like Greg Medford said in his video, it's not for sure that it's the only time they're going to do it, but it might be. And I can tell you that S90 is a badass blade steel. It's one of my favorites. I'm really hoping that one day they do a Marauder H and S90, because I'll definitely buy that, and an RMP 187 RMP, which is very similar to this without the flipper tab. I think it has a fuller groove, but it's, no, it has a hole. Has a hole, that's right. It's very similar to this. I like the flipper tab, it's cool. It doesn't get in the way like I thought it would, but I think I'd really like to have the RMP. Anyway, this has 6-gun titanium hardware, which is standard with all Medfords now. The double-sided screws, which is standard. The centering is on point, perfect. Other than a little bit of lock stick, which is completely gone now. You can't even tell it was there. Lockup is, let's say, about 25%. Good enough for me. I think this knife was originally designed to be used with gloves because it has super aggressive jimping up here to grab with a glove. And I can see with this flipper tab making it really easy to open a knife with gloves on. But gloves or no gloves, this is a super cool knife. Let's look at some size comparison. Oh, also this video, as usual, is sponsored by the Medford guy, the coolest Medford dealer on the planet, Jake Smith. This is it next to the Slim Midi Marauder. Very similar in size and profile. This is the 187 drop point. You could see is significantly larger. It's a beast compared to the 187. The 187 is very pocketable. I mean, it's just a great EDC knife. This is the Marauder H. Of course, it just engulfs it. If you're a Spyderco fan, Spyderco Native 5 Sprint Run Carbon Fiber S90V CPM 154. Let me check some measurements. Blade length about 2 3/4. Cutting edge about 2 1/4. I don't know what this will do. Let's see. I can handle scales are 3 1/2, so about 6 1/2. Yeah, 6 1/2, 5 1/2 overall. 6 1/2 overall. My math is kind of jacked up today. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys more of a first impressions. I've carried this about a week. Been lucky here lately. All of my numbers have been matching, and this one didn't. But of course, Medford tells you it doesn't mean anything. It's for their quality control. But as usual, I'm very satisfied. You guys all know I'm a Medford super fan. That trigger is wicked cool. I mean, it really does look like a gun trigger. That's what Greg said he designed this after. I've already reviewed the 187F. I just wanted to show this version. Milled titanium clip. If I had a recommendation, I would have put a fuller groove in here. The reason being, if you didn't want to use the flipper tab, you could flip it out. I mean, you could almost do it now, but if you had a little fuller groove in there, plus it would look cool. I think it would look really cool in there. Just one of the newer fuller groove with a little bit of bite to it. That'd be a cool way to open the knife. But what do I know? I'm no knife designer. I'm barely a knife collector. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great night. Bye.